Adam Sandler has been from the 80s, has been trying to make animated features and not with a lot of success. And for some reason, this weekend, I decided to watch his Netflix animated movie, Leo, the story about a talking lizard in a children's classroom who reveals he can talk at each different house when a different kid brings him over a weekend. And I gotta tell you, it was surprisingly sweet and mature. And oh my god, I can't believe how much I actually enjoyed it. Like, I cared enough to pause when I got up so I wouldn't miss anything. That's crazy, but true. And I actually want other people to see this. Like, oh my goodness. Like, I'm sad to say that the writing in this movie was better than Disney's Wish. I can't believe I said that, but it's true. It's true. Now, why could I possibly respect and like this movie? Alrighty. Leo, yes, the lizard voiced by Adam Sandler in his most annoying Adam Sandler-y voice. Yeah, he goes to each of the kids' house, originally because he's trying to find a way to escape with this new classroom of kids. But for shenanigan reasons, he reveals that he can talk to one child. And he tells the child, you're the only one that can hear me, so don't tell other people about it. And that's fine. And while he's talking, the little girl who hears him is talking too much. And he's like, okay, kid, I get it. And she's like, is that your way of saying that you want me to stop talking? And it's like, oh, so you are self-aware, but you're kind of nervous, so you keep doing it anyway. And so Leo, who has, seen a lot of kids in his time and is actually a bit gentle, it's actually very gentle and kind to her about this, explains that it's okay for her to stop talking, at least about herself, and if she wants to, have conversations, real conversations, she has to ask other people how they are and listen. And yeah, that is actually good advice. Yeah, and it actually does give a positive effect where she kindly just, asks a classmate how they are doing. And yeah, it's not very dramatic. It's just simple and sweet. And yeah, throughout the movie, there are different little examples where I think it's going to go to an extreme that I don't like, but no, it's weird enough to remind you that it's a cartoon, but it's done very nicely and not all as misogynistic as I was expecting because I've seen Hotel Transylvania. But yeah, it was so odd that I felt this way. Guys, like, this is the kind of advice I hope like kids watch and feel a little better about themselves after watching. Like, these are actually good considerations for kids to take in. It was all fair. Yeah, it didn't matter about their age or how weird they were. He was just very gentle with them, and yeah, that was really, really nice. There was never shaming the parents for like him disagreeing with their methods. No, he focused on letting the kids think about themselves and making their own individual decisions. And oh my god, I cannot believe that. But it happened. Now, are there flaws in this movie? Absolutely, there are flaws. Let's see. One is the lowbrow humor. It's not always funny. I can admit that there are one or two times where I did chuckle, but ew. Just ew. Other stuff. Oh, it's a musical. A very amateurish musical that makes me think, God, Adam Sandler just sings because he wants to hurt people. It's his own sick joke, his own personal evil little joy. Yeesh. I did not like that. Except for one song, I will admit. It's a rather sad song in the movie where the kids are like, God, now I'm leaving fifth grade, going to middle school. I remember when I was 10. And yeah, it gave me Peanut vibes, like the good kind of Peanut vibes. The other songs are quite awful and we could do without all of them. Except for the one where he actually tells another kid that they don't have to cry when they're upset. And even though the song has a point, it's okay to suck it up and just try to get through instead of wallowing in the pain. The little girl actually counterpoints him, saying that it's also a good release. So yeah, he listened to that and yeah, it's fair. It's just, yeah, I think it has good points. Another thing that it also shows that are pretty good points is the effectiveness of teaching, or at least the human teachers. In the beginning of the movie, The kids have a nice young teacher who, uses a lot of silly, positive encouragement and such, but she has to take maternity leave, so she can't stay. And they get an old school teacher who is really rough and mean. Like, think of Miss Turnbuckle from Matilda, but short. That's basically her. But to be totally honest with you, yeah, but neither methods are perfect. The first one is corny and a little patronizing. The second one is stale and effective, and God, memorization doesn't really help like teach people. If it did 4 years of Spanish, I would learn Spanish by now. But yeah. So yeah, those are flaws with it. The music, yeesh. The character designs, the people look fine. They're not overly cutesy like in a Pixar movie, and it like the whole thing isn't like gorgeously detailed like a DreamWorks movie. It's just fine. Like the animation is fine. It's okay. Let's see, does Leo have other talking animals in his life? He does. He's friends with a grumpy turtle. They're like grumpy to each other. It's kind of like a Bert and Ernie thing in my mind, so that was fine. Not great, but fine. At one point, there's a petting zoo, and yeah, I was really expecting the petting zoo animals to be miserable and creepy, like that one scene in Happy Feet, but no, their story actually made sense, and I rooted for them. Isn't that crazy? Oh, and it's a little bit of a spoiler, but it's a spoiler I like. At one point in the movie, there's this little boy who's overprotected, like his parents, cut up all of his food for him, put him in hazmat suits when he goes outside, all that stuff. Instead of Leo saying that he needs to, shame his parents or rebel against them, he mostly just tells the kid to, focus on himself. And also in doing that, he has to break up with his drone. And now, drones are usually toys for kids, but this drone is more like a weird, like, super nanny robot that's always helping the kid with stuff he doesn't need help on. He doesn't want help. He doesn't like all this babying. But he also doesn't complain about it out loud because, what will that do? Anyway, Leo helps him write a breakup letter with the robot, and the way the robot takes it is so miserable and sad. Like, yeah, like the robot actually has a heart broken, and I don't know, it was just hilarious the way he took it. Like, at one point, Leo and the boy are outside, like, just playing, and the robot's, like, wearing a robe and holding what looks like a glass of wine, and the robot does not speak. But just that but just the fact that he's looking outside like the glass doors while this happens is very funny and messed up. And the drone comes back a couple times in the movie, and the kid is like, "Oh, please don't make a scene right now." Is it subtle queerness? A little to me, but I search for that kind of thing, so I don't know. But yeah. Do I think anyone and everyone could watch this movie? I think almost anyone can, if anyone is willing to, take the premise in and forgive the terrible singing, if they just want to watch a decent animated movie, it's fine. If they want to watch a decent movie with their kids, I think it's a good choice. Should everyone see it? No, I don't think everyone has the patience for that Adam Sandler voice. But I, as a fan of, decent animated films, for movies that teach kids independence, I appreciate that. Now, the movie does have its cliches, like with its plot, but it also does try to, acknowledge them and veer away from them as best as it can. It's kind of like it's following a path and it tries to take a shortcut, but yeah, the shortcut just does not work. But either way, at the end of the day, I enjoyed the movie, and if other people want to see it, it depends on the people, but I actually would see it again with some joy. I can't believe I'm saying that, but it's true. Adam Sandler, this might have been the best thing you've ever done, at least animation-wise. I don't know about the other stuff. But wow, I really liked this. It actually makes me want to see Eight Crazy Nights. I haven't seen that since I was a kid. I don't think I finished it, so this is going to be a special Christmas.